The primary purpose of health insurance, or any insurance for that matter, is to protect you against financial catastrophe. And our health insurance industry has failed miserably in its singular purpose because hundreds of thousands of people are going bankrupt due to medical bills that they cannot pay. And the sole purpose of health insurance is to relieve people of the worry of financial catastrophe. Our health insurance industry has failed. The purpose of a nationwide single-payer health insurance system is to remove the worry of financial catastrophe due to the exorbitant costs of medical care. If we don't do anything, projections show that Americans will spend $4.5 trillion on healthcare in 2022. $4.5 trillion if we don't make any changes to the system. 1/3 of that money is paid to private health insurance companies, but they only pay out 80% of the money that they receive in actual health care. 20% of what private insurance companies receive, or more than $300 billion, does not go to health care. It goes to administrative costs, executive salaries, advertising, and profit. As a nation, we are giving more than $300 billion a year to health insurance companies that they are putting in their pocket, and it is not providing the care that people need. But more importantly, it is not relieving the financial worry that comes from the high costs of healthcare. The average person in America spends more than $10,000 a year on healthcare. But 30 million people do not have any insurance whatsoever. $300 billion that go to the insurance companies could provide actual care for 30 million people in America that currently don't have health insurance. As a nation, we are making the wrong choice. We are giving $300 billion a year to insurance companies when we should be redirecting that $300 billion and giving care to the people who need it. If we simply restructure the system, everyone can be relieved of the worry that is associated with the costs of healthcare. Millions of people do not go to the doctor because they don't have insurance and they can't afford to pay for the care they need. Many more millions of people go to the doctor, but they are unable to do what their doctor recommends because they worry that they won't be able to pay for the testing or the therapies, the treatments, the surgeries, or the medications that their doctor recommends. It's the financial worry that is preventing them from getting the care that they should be getting, but instead that money is going to insurance company profits. Many people worry about how they are going to be cared for when they are elderly, or if they are disabled, or have an accident, or have some other health or mental problem that will make it so that they are unable to care for themselves. Long-term home and nursing home care is an enormous financial worry that may not affect the young, but it certainly affects millions and millions of elderly and disabled people. Our current insurance system does not remove the worry of the financial devastation that could be caused by the need for long-term care. Americans seem to have forgotten that the primary purpose of insurance is to remove the worry of financial catastrophe, and our insurance system is failing miserably in its core purpose. As a nation, we have decided to allow the insurance companies to make a profit, but they are not fulfilling their end of the bargain. They are not relieving us of the worry that comes from the costs associated with the health care that they will not pay for. The purpose of a single-payer system is to remove the financial worry associated with the costs of healthcare. With a single-payer nationwide healthcare system, you'll never have to worry that you won't be able to afford to go to the doctor when you need to. You won't have to worry about going to the dentist or getting a test or therapy or surgery or medication or any other recommended treatment. You won't have to worry about changing jobs or losing your job and losing access to health care. You won't have to worry about traveling out of state and being in an area that's not in your network. And you won't have to worry about getting out of network charges. Imagine how much better your life will be when you never have to worry about whether or not you can afford the care you need. No other system accomplishes that primary task. If you're talking to a politician, if you're talking to a friend, if you're talking to someone who thinks they know what they're talking about when it comes to healthcare policy, ask them one simple question. Does their system completely remove the financial worry of not being able to afford the care that you need? And if it does not remove the worry from your life, then it's not doing its job as an insurance system. Ask the tough questions of your politicians. Ask the tough questions of your friends and family. And don't be afraid of change. The system that we have right now is broken. It is not doing the primary thing that it is supposed to do. We need to change that system so that Americans no longer need to worry about whether or not they can afford the health care that they need. Contact your congressperson and your senator and tell them that you do not want to have to worry about whether or not you can afford to go to the doctor. You don't want to worry about whether or not you can afford to go to the dentist or have the surgery you need or take care of your elderly parents or disabled family member just because you cannot afford to do so. As a country, we can afford these things, but instead we've been paying insurance companies to put $300 billion a year in their pockets. We've been making the wrong choice. It's time to change what we choose and make the right choice to provide care for everyone who needs it in America.